Hey traders, welcome everybody to the The5ers Traders interview. I'm here with Yiannis. Is that right, Yiannis?
Ioannis is in the Greek way. Yiannis is the as in everyone calls me Yiannis.
Yiannis, okay. You will tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. I'm very excited to be with him. He's a funded trader, a bootcamp funded trader, and he will tell us a little bit his journey, how has been, and his strategy and his insight to the market. He's, of course, very active in his social media channels. We'll discuss that a little bit. So, Yiannis, how are you? Glad to have you.
I'm very good. I'm super happy to, I've watched these for so long and super happy to be part of it.
Yeah, no, well, you're fronting the camera right now.
Exactly.
Yiannis, let's get started. Bit about you. What's your background? What you used to do before trading? What you do today?
So I used to be a performance data analyst for canoe slalom in the UK. So for the Olympic team, I've been to London Olympics, Rio and Tokyo. And this was analyzing the performance of the athletes. And from there, after the Tokyo cycle, I looked for a transition. And it didn't go into trading. It went into personal training, as in strength conditioning. But funny enough, the way I got into trading was due to a mistake of the HR company, of the company that I was working for.
Okay.
They had made something wrong in my balance sheets. And I was so frustrated that I couldn't understand why I'm not getting my full salary and I was getting half my salary. So I ended up doing a mini course that to understand how to read balance sheets. And long story short, I managed to get my money back. So that was my first successful trade. And from there, I did on suggested courses, you get I got stocks and Forex trading and investing as a mini course that you could do for nothing, for like £5 or something. And so I did that and I really enjoyed it. And I started watching some YouTube videos and fell onto the Scruffy Trader. He kind of brought trading into my world in a plain language. And I really connected with what he was talking about. And I ended up joining his Discord group and did some one-to-ones with him. And from there, he was the one who came up with the idea of doing a bootcamp challenge. Because at the moment, at the time, I was running really high percentages, 80 to 90% win rates, but I would have one trade that would kill the whole account.
Correct.
So he said, do the bootcamp because it has a lot of like structure to it. You have to have a stop loss. You have you can't risk more than 1% or 2%. I can't remember what it was now. And that all helped my trading, and passing that was probably one of the, I find it's quite a tough challenge.
It is.
Because it's 5% every time for 3 times consistently without breaking 5 stop loss rules. And all that made me a better trader. I feel like that has really put the foundations down, as well as the Scruffy's sort of knowledge, and now ICT, which I trade on a daily basis.
Okay, let me hold on a second. So
that's one in a go.
Thanks for the interview, Yiannis. Okay, wait. So when did you start trading? When was that first approach to trading? How long ago?
It was 2.5 years ago. 2 years. I started by looking up penny stocks, trading penny stocks I tried to get into trading penny stocks in the US market. But as you know, there's a high pay, but I think it's 25,000 to even have your account. And let alone to go short, you even need even more of that. I just realized quickly that I wouldn't be able to sustain that.
Right.
at the time, because I was a beginner trader. Didn't have consistency as I do now. So luckily, I left the stocks at that moment of time, because I think I would have blown out really quickly.
Okay.
I did a bit of that, and then I did then I opened an IG account because of I saw Scruffy trade in IG, and it was in the UK. And I put my first trade. It was a DAX trade, and it went really, really well, as it always does. And I think I made, like, for then it was a small account, $200-300, and I was like, wow, this is my life.
This is it, huh?
This is every day.
So that was, let's say, like 2 years ago. Is that fair to say?
Roughly 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So you're telling me in 2 years you became quite consistent and profitable, which is very, very fast for, the average. It's quite fast to accomplish that. Would you say there's something in your background, in your previous job, that helped you in the process? And if so, how?
I think the biggest asset that I have is I love learning, and I learn very quick. So okay. If you, I never, even if I was trading like Scruffy trader, I was always looking on how to perfect my trades and my management of the trades. I think the love of learning is what fast-tracked the consistency. And I think that there's also another thing that plays massively, and it's the mindset side.
Okay.
And I think my partner helps me massively in being able to deal with all the things that our brains are very good at pushing us down and making sure we feel inadequate and that we're not good enough. I had pretty much a one-to-one coach every day from my partner to help me through that.
Yeah, lucky you, huh? So
yeah, absolutely.
And then you get into social media and YouTube looking for what to do in the markets. Of course, there's a lot of noise. You were lucky to find the Scruffy trader early. He's I know him firsthand. He's a great guy, great trader, legit. And so what made sense? Like, what's special about what Gary Langley teaches that made sense with you and help you in the process? Is it the strategy, the trade management? What is it?
What Scruffy made clear to me is that no strategy or no indicator or no one plan will work. At some point of time, there's going to be a trade where it's going to break you. And you need to be able to identify that trade. And even if it's out of your strategy and out of your indicators and out of your way that you kill trades, you hold on to trades, you need to be in a position to deal with that trade in a manner that will keep you sustainable and consistent as a trader. So I would say the one thing that gave me the confidence was listening to Scruffy saying that, yes, you can use whatever strategy you want. And normally the simpler your strategy, the better you'll be able to look at trends, the better you'll look at historical data to identify, because we're all individual traders. I know you trade and you do your live trading on the The5ers. We're all very individual. So your trading style won't work for me and my trading style won't work for you.
Right.
And I think the key thing as a trader is taking what Sol does, taking what Scruffy does, taking what ICT, and then creating a Yiannis. And unfortunately, even on the YouTube story that I've started now and building, a lot of people try to replicate me. It's not going to happen.
Not going to work.
It's not going to work because you don't see the market how I've seen it in the last 2 years. You need to find your way.
I agree. Okay. And moving on, then you find ICT, or is that at the same time after finding the Scruffy trader? Explain a little bit what ICT.
ICT came, I was very frustrated with one of my, I just passed the milestone of the 125 after I got my 100K.
Okay.
And 125, and I was in good profit. And my family had visit from America, Jen's family for a few days. And we were in a restaurant and there was no internet. And I was so confident of all my success that I've had from passing 3 challenges, passing the milestone. And I'd set the stops. I thought I set the stops where it would have been. I didn't think the market would ever go. In a few hours, it did like 550 pips. It was a swan day. It was one of the British elections when Sunak came into power, if you want. And I came out and saw a 6K loss. And as soon as I saw that, normally I would hold it previously and wish and say it's going to come back to me. But that was not my trade. It wasn't my analysis. So I just killed it. And I had a few weeks of reflecting on that. And during those 2 weeks, I started looking at ICT. And it just made sense to me. I could see what he was seeing. After that, I tried it with some mini lots, and I tried it with a normal lot, and I've never looked back. It's been really good from then on.
Okay, for those who don't know what ICT is, would you have a simple way to explain what you look in the charts or what they do, how it works?
So ICT has multiple ways of trading, but I generally trade the ICT 2022 mentorship, which is free on YouTube. And it's got like 40 lessons, and it explains how you look at buy side liquidity and short side liquidity, and how you can get your sort of fill fair value gaps is the main thing. The main thing is about filling fair value gaps when you have a break of structure. So if there's a swing high and the swing high is broken, the market will normally come and retrace and fill a fair value gap. And that is the area where I'm interested to go long, or if it's the other way, is short.
Okay. So
very, very, very quickly. Obviously,
we would have to share the screens and a little bit explain, but for those interested, you can go and look at it. So yes, I would like to show your dashboards. And okay, and a little bit to review what you've done with us, because you started right away on a bootcamp program, very popular program of the 5ers. And on your first attempt, I believe you passed it. Is that right? Or
yes,
yeah, first attempt. So this is your evaluation account. You passed it 3 challenges. You didn't make more than the allowed risk valuations, and you have a very, 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 very nice, almost unbelievable growth chart. So we look at your statistics, almost 90% win rate. How is that possible? How do you do that? What's the management behind what we're seeing here?
The reason of 90% win rate is down to Scruffy. The whole challenge of 100% of the passing the challenge was Scruffy trading, was Scruffy madness. If you've heard of that, it's a way where you trade. It's pretty a pound average way of trading in. So you don't go in a big position. If I have a 1 position, I would break it down into 5 different positions and managing to get a better price when the trade is going against me.
Okay.
And it's been meticulous with my analysis and entry. I would only go in a trade when I'm extremely confident that is going to work. And if it doesn't, I can still come out with a profit because I'll be roughly in a good position, in an overextended position where I can get out of a trade. And the reason it's 90% is because even the losing trades would make me some profit.
Okay, so if I hear you right, you, instead of going your full max position in one single entry point, you divide that, let's say you want to trade 1 lot, you divide that into 10 mini lots, and then you spread those into different layers. Is that fair to say?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. That makes sense, and that explains also, the steady growth of your charts. And then you pass this, and you get funded, and you get a 100,000 account, and now your chart looks different.
Yes.
Now we see you have more equity drawdowns and more drawdowns, balanced drawdowns as well in your chart. What changed here?
So this is after funded, right?
Correct.
Yes. So this is, I think that is the big loss I was talking about. You can see it somewhere there. What had happened is I had the big loss, and the reason with the 100K changing so much would be the lot size. And I think if I could give someone advice, because if you look at the percentages of profits is the same as 82, so a little bit lower, but
yeah,
it's still a high percentage win rate. But what I would have done, I was overconfident. And what ended up doing is positions where there weren't very good entries, and we would have normally managed to get out for a small profit. I would let them run further. And that further never happened. So it would come back into drawdown. And then I would reposition. And unfortunately, I had to learn quickly that is not going to work. As you can see towards the end, I'm getting back to that previous way of trading.
Correct.
Which was sort of like decreasing the decreasing lot sizes, and the average lot I think on this is average position 0.45. So normally I would have traded 0.25 for the scruffy. So having a higher lot size, that increased the drawdown. And these are things that I had to go back, and I actually had another one-to-one, and I said, what's changed from this to this? Because technically it should be the same trading.
Correct.
But psychologically, you have to almost graduate into being trading real money, if that makes sense.
It really is. Also the large account. Okay, it's many retail traders, they have maybe a couple of thousand accounts, and it's only you're managing 100,000 account, which is large. You see your P&L going thousands up and down, which is not easy. And you mentioned the overconfidence, which is something that happens to many traders. Once they trade so well during the evaluation, and they come into the real account just wanting to make money as fast as possible with that confidence, and they just blow their accounts. It's not what happened to you. You really managed to get out of that, but the overconfidence is something that many traders challenge with.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So even though you managed to to get to the target, and now you're trading, the target is 5%, and now you're managing 125,000 account, and now you're back to Yiannis, back to the small size and the steady growth, and you're doing good. Yeah. You have your profit payout you haven't taken, but it's available for you to withdraw. And yeah, you're back to normal, I would say.
Well, this is an interesting graph, because I'm a data analyst, and I hate seeing the previous graph. I absolutely hate seeing it.
Yeah.
Don't show me again. Just because I'm a perfectionist and I wanted it. I do like a nice steady graph. And this is quite interesting, because this is where I learned ICT as well. So you can see a drawdown there, which was the learning curve of managing to learn the new way of trading.
Okay.
And I'm settling into that. And it's not just ICT, like I said before. Like you mentioned, it's the Yiannis way, which is scruffy, ICT, correct. My own experience, having to deal with big losses. You have to go through that. And you slowly build those brick by brick. The foundation gets stronger, and then you can thrive, especially become a consistent trader, because that is the most important thing.
Okay, so what would you say is your edge? What's your edge in the market, Yiannis? Like, in order to...
I think it's the mindset.
Okay.
I generally believe that I will make it, and I do everything in my power to do that. And strategies, yes, work. And if ICT, I didn't know it, I would have found another way to be able to trade. So I think the key is not putting so much pressure into the perfect strategy and to the perfect method. The perfect method is yourself and your psychology. That is the perfect method. And that's what needs the most attention to be able to progress as a trader, in my opinion.
And I think, yeah, sorry, go on.
I was going to say that is one of the things that I pay most emphasis on is how is my state when I'm going into the market? Am I thinking negatively about my trading? Which luckily, and it's not luck, I've worked on it. I haven't had any doubt in the last month or month and a half, and that's showing in my trading. I'm confident in me making the next milestones, and you need to build that confidence, and it takes time.
Beautiful. And I believe, from talking with you, you have a very strong why as well. You want to be able to be at home and spend time with your family and your kids and everything. And that's something that is not always clear for traders. So why am I doing this? It's just not only for the money, but what I'm going to make with money. And that's something that you have very, very clear, and your why is always present.
Absolutely, yeah. It's don't know if we mentioned it, but we're moving over to Bali in a month's time, less than a month's time, and I wanted to be able to spend a lot of time with my son, and this is going to be this has given me the opportunity to do that because I can trade the London Open. When I go over to Asia, I'll be trading the New York session. And maybe the Asian market. I haven't really looked into that yet. But it just gives me a lot of time to spend with the family. And that's what my priority.
Amazing. We're happy to have you with the 5ers trading with us. Yiannis, anything, overall experience with the 5ers, there's a lot of companies out there. Why the 5ers, and how has been your experience with it, your process with the 5ers?
I do get questions from people of the 5ers, and one thing I'll say, I'm a very objective person, and objectively, I think the setup that the 5ers provide is the best way, not only for money but to develop you as a trader. Because obviously you can take your money out, and it's very easy process. You get it within, I think, 7 days or something like that. That's one thing, and people focus on that because I'm sure there's a lot of other companies that don't do that. The other thing that I really like is the time. You have 365 days to pass a challenge. You're not, right. And you can trade the way that you trade. You can keep your trades over the weekend. You can trade the news, and now you can trade the indices. The spreads are zero. I mean, there's no reason if you're looking into funding, I wouldn't look anywhere else.
Okay, thanks for that. So let's start wrapping up. Just last words. If someone is just hesitating to get into the prop industry, to open an account, or they're just starting out, what would be your recommendation, advice, tip?
One, I would do the bootcamp because it's very cheap to get in. You need $95, and you get access to an 100K account. I think that's changed now. Is it even more? I can't remember if this. I think it's the 100K.
There's a 250K now.
250. I mean, for $95. And then you pay, obviously, to buy a small fee to get your account. If you're a new trader and you're looking to prove yourself that you can trade, that's the easiest way to do it, because it's real challenges that are going to give you a real account. So I would start with a bootcamp. If you're more experienced and you can trade, then you've got other options where you can get funded straight away. I would definitely go for that option rather than risking your own money at the beginning, because all you can lose is $95, and it tells you that you're not ready. If you do it, you've risked nothing because you've got a 225,000 account. It's a win-win scenario.
I agree. Okay, fantastic. Anything else, Yiannis? Last words before we close?
I think I don't know if can I mention the conscious day trader? I have already.
Yeah.
If you do want to follow my trading, I've got a YouTube channel on the Conscious Day Trader, and like Saul said, I trade ICT pretty much every day, and you'll find me on the 5ers group as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll add those links in the description of the video. So Yiannis, thank you very much for the time, for the interview. I believe traders will find a lot of value in your words, and go check guys, go check Yiannis' links, and he has a lot of value to provide. So thank you very much, Yiannis, and good luck with moving to Bali.
Thanks so much, Saul. Thank you.
Okay, till next time, Yiannis. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.